Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Asshat Podcast on YouTube. What we got this time is an older wrestling magazine. This is Sports Review Wrestling from April of 1980, which means it probably came out in February. Usually cover dates are about 2 months ahead. And you see back then this cost $1.25. So it means I didn't really start reading wrestling magazines until about 84, so they were the same price then. I picked this up at a Power Slam production show a couple of years back. Just look at this great cover. Mulligan versus Stud, the bloody terror of a Texas street fight. We got some bloody pictures there. Look at that, all bloodied up. The curse of Jerry Lawler. The mystery man who controls Andre the Giant. Then, the Titanic apartment wrestling match for the highest stakes ever. Apartment wrestling. That's why I got this. All right, let's remove this from the bag here. As you can see, this copy is not in perfect shape, of course. It's a reader copy. Let's just see, what was in the old as they're known, the fans advertisements. We got an ad for how to be a locksmith. Guaranteed hair. As you can see, the cover has actually come completely off this one. Somebody filled this out. Pages started browning. Somebody sat here and drawn on a little bit. Ooh. 24 sports cards. Okay. I always love the official wrestler rankings. And the WWF #1 champion, of course, is Bob Backlund. Then we got Ken Patera, Bobby Duncan, Pat Patterson, Ivan Putski, Hulk Hogan, Hussein Arab, Tito Santana, Swede Hansen, Nikolai Volkov, and Larry Zbyszko. AWA, of course, champion was not Nick Beinwinkle. Pure class. Dino Bravo, Vern Gagne, Greg Gagne, Jerry Lawler, Billy Robinson, Jesse Ventura, Super Destroyer 2, who, if I remember right, that's Sergeant Slaughter, Bill Dundee, Steve Olsenowski, and Paul Ellering. Well, so far out of everybody's been named, the only two I definitely know they're still wrestling halfway often is Lawler and Dundee. I've actually met both those guys. All right, let's go to the NWA here. We got Race as a champ, Dusty Rhodes, Snuka, Manny Fernandez, Ray Stevens, Tommy Rich, Kevin Von Erich, Ric Flair, Mike George, Dirty Dick Slater, and Chavo Guerrero. And this is Chavo Sr., or so he's known when he came into WWE, Chavo Classic. Then our top 10 tag teams, the Samoans, I guess that would be Alpha and Sika, Rick Steamboat and Jay Youngblood, Vern Gagne and Mad Dog Vachon, Ivan Putski and Tito Santana, Brian St. John and Stanley Lane, no idea there, Bruiser Brody and Kerry Von Erich, Austin Idol and Mass Superstar. Mass Superstar is Axe from Demolition, Paul Jones and Baron Von Raschke, Mike Graham and Steve Kern and the Twin Devils. And then, of course, we always got most popular, Dusty Rhodes, Andre the Giant, Ivan Putski, Mr. Wrestling 2, Rick Steamboat, Tommy Rich, Wahoo McDaniels, Jack Briscoe, Dino Bravo, and Chief J Strongbow. Most hated, Ken Patera, Terry Funk, Jimmy Snuka, Greg Valentine, Harley Race, Super Destroyer 2, The Spoiler, Ernie Ladd, Austin Idol, and Eddie Mansfield. Oh, the Atlas ads. The insult that made a man out of Mac. The Tadler. This was kind of like their rumors and all that stuff. Peaceful man's way to win fights. New from NRI, 25-inch color TV that tunes by computer, programs an entire evening's entertainment. Wow. Look at all this. Wrestler of the Month, Ric Flair. Nice, good picture of Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. Then we got the John Smith Company ad with all this. These ads used to be in comics all the time. I never really actually ordered anything out of the John Smith Company. We got our mailbag with letters. Another ad. An ad for back issues. And the prices were one magazine for $2, 2 for $3, 3 for $4, 4 for $5, or 10 for $10. That's actually not bad. Nowadays, you pay a lot more than that. I paid more than that just for this issue. The mailbag continued. First time by popular demand, subscriptions to Sports Review Wrestling Monthly are now available. How much was this for a year back then? $15. That's not a bad deal. Top wrestlers answer your question of the month. And the question of the month is, what do you hope the wrestlers of the 1980s will be like? I'm just going to pick a few. You see what San Martino has to say here. I hope the wrestlers of this decade will listen more to the fans. I hope they won't let themselves get greedy and turn on their friends. And doggone it, I hope they show a little class and don't run amok at the slightest opportunity. Okay. Ernie Ladd. No one will be able to attain a wrestling license until they swear loyalty to me and recognize me as the king of wrestling. All wrestlers will be under my dominion and will obey my every wish. Everyone will be joyous because I will be benevolent, kind, yet firm. Ah, what a vision. And of course, Harley Race. How can you forget Harley Race? I want them to be honest. I want wrestlers to get in there and just wrestle. None of that garbage like firing objects or getting yourself disqualified. None of that malarkey. Either you win on strong pressure or you lose. Let's see what. Oh, we got Ric Flair. Let's see what Ric Flair's got to say. Strong, muscular, handsome, talented, quick, given to the fans, wise, insightful, visionary, sexy. Hey, that sounds like someone I know and love. Well, the wrestlers of the 80s could do a lot worse. Let me tell you. And then the late, great Grand Wizard. They must learn their place. A wrestler's job is to wrestle and listen to advice. That's what a manager is for, to tell a wrestler what to do. You don't need wrestlers running around crazy. You must tell them what to do or else trouble brews. Sports Review Wrestling was one of the happening rags I didn't read that off. I read Inside Wrestling, PWI, and The Wrestler more often. Okay, we got the Scrapbook section where they give us like old news from 65 and 70 and 75. The Sheik, the original Sheik, not that fake Sheik that's ran around and had the NWA title. This is the original. This is Sabu's uncle. Crusher steps all over his opponents. There's the Crusher. I've never seen, I'll be honest, I have not seen that much footage of the Crusher. And we got a point and counterpoint between Pat Patterson and Ricky Steamboat. Should the use of foreign objects be grounds for immediate disqualification? Patterson says no. Steamboat says yes. Well, Steamboat with the long hair looks odd to me. I'm used to him having shorter hair. Mulligan versus Stud. The bloody terror of a Texas street fight. Look at that. Look at all the blood just beating the hell out of each other. That's what made the Abner Rags to me. Was not only did they cover every fib, they had such great pictures. As you see, there's a page loose here, but it's still here. This issue's complete. It's beat but complete. I'll knock your brains out if you got any. Joe LeDuc hit below the belt when he got a name calling contest against Bobby Duncan. It led to a vicious fistic confrontation that almost destroyed Duncan. I don't think I've ever actually seen Bobby Duncan wrestle. Seen? Oh, here we go. The cover story, the mystery man who controls Andre Giant. Now, I've read this entire article, and they never actually explain it, just kind of hint at it. And as I'm sure most people nowadays know, they made up 90% of these stories. The curse of Jerry Lawler. And it's basically about how Lawler never would win a world title. I mean, I got the picture of him with... Now it's the Bruiser. I thought that was the curse, but that's the Bruiser. And he did eventually end up winning the world title. He won that, he unified that title with the AWA and the WCCW. It's great pictures of Lawler in here. Wish I'd had this with me one of the times I've met him and got it signed. Never turn your back on Ernie Ladd. Look at him whopping the hell out of somebody. It looks like a duffel bag or a briefcase. His crown falling off. Here we go. The Titanic apartment wrestling match for the highest stakes ever. Now, these were just excuses to publish photos of women in bikinis and the most suggestive poses they could come up with. And I want you to watch this. There's 1, 2 pages. 3. Then we go to a pinup of Bobo Brazil. So it's 3 pages on apartment wrestling. We got a continuation of the Tadler, and we got some old, let's see, original wrestling review, some old issues for sale. Another page of Tadler, another wrestler of the month, brass knucks, pictures. We're still only 3 pages of apartment wrestling. Wrestler of the month gets another page. Damn. More back issues, some fitness ads, shit like that. More on Andre Giant. Whiten your teeth. God, I don't even want to know what they used for teeth whitening back then. Page 5, the apartment wrestling. It's a small page, but it's there. Kick, punch, karate. This is an oxygen factory. Adults finish high school at home, spare time. And the rumor I've heard about these apartment wrestling is a lot of this was done in Bill Apter's apartment. So we're on 5 page. 6. Oh, I love these. Gorgeous girls in savage combat. $10 for a set of 10 pictures. It's like porn for kids that aren't old enough to buy porn yet. More back issues for sale. More back issues for sale. Oh, wait. We got 2 more pages of apartment wrestling. We got little small ads for stuff for sale. Deluxe quality home movie viewer. Okay. For you youngsters out there, before we had VCRs. Oh, well. There might be some people younger don't even know what VCR. Okay, before we had Blu-ray and DVD players and streaming, you had 8mm and Super 8mm and 16mm. And this is how you watch stuff. You projected it up on a wall. You had a little machine like this. I never had one. Hold on, that's like 6, 7 pages of apartment wrestling. We got 2 more pages. This article gets the most amount of pages and most pictures of anything in this magazine. Of course, I mean, look at that. You know, all you need is Brazzers written right there, and boom, you got a porno. Longer, thicker, fuller hair in just 5 to 7 days. You don't need a gun. You can have this nightstick and just beat the shit out of people. How to repair small engines. And then we got the back cover for wrestling album with a bunch of just pictures and stuff. And as you can see, somebody's filled it out a little bit, but that is Sports Review Wrestling, April 1980. Neat little issue, fun little time capsule. Let me get that back in there right before I shut this and put it back in the back. I've actually got 3 issues from around the same time period, all got at once. But just a neat little, like I said, neat little time capsule. I used to have a stack of these going from about 84, 85 to about 91, 92. I bought every Abner Mad that came out plus the other ones I could find. Held on to them for years, and then in the late 90s, when the wrestling boom was happening, I had a buddy of mine that made me a good offer. And I sold them all to him, got rid of them and wish I hadn't of now. So I've been slowly picking these back up, but hope everybody enjoyed that. And if you did, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.